All right, so this is this week's devlog. I wanted to show kind of where I am. Um, I think I might have changed the name since last time. It said like 2D platformer, and I changed it to 2D action RPG. That's just I was just messing around, and I was thinking about putting in a new name or putting in an actual name, and then I couldn't come up with one, so I just filled something in. So kind of ignore that. Anyways, I changed the cursor to a little sword, which I thought was cool. I just used one of Kenny's assets because I don't actually do vector art. But so let's check it out. A lot of changes. I still haven't set up the pixel perfect camera, so occasionally you'll see some errors, some issues with lines. But so I have a new HUD up here. This little building, which that's not really anything. Like it's just kind of showing that I'm eventually gonna put a village there. Made new grass textures. Of course, there's dirt under that grass, and then dirt textures. I just use radiance for the time being, but I'm going to change that and actually make some proper transitions. And I'm probably actually going to work on the background itself to make it something actually good. But this is like the overworld. And then we go down into like this cave. And this is how the enemies actually evolved. Previously, he was just kind of called enemy, but this is him now. We go down here, we can kill him, and it drops this little, see that awful animation, which I have to work on, but it drops this little soul thing, and that's what's going to fill up this bar, and then little coins, which, if I had my audio up, which I did, but it seemed it just didn't play the sound, but there is a sound that's for coins, and that'll play when the player collects those. Oh, and I also modified the player sprite to be something a little more, I don't know, what I felt would be a little cooler than just trying to like throw like a robe on and, cheat out of it that way. This is a little patrolling character that I just haven't actually filled in a sprite for, but he's patrolling, he does damage and drops coins just as well. For the most part, this is all I have. I was actually working on planning to do some water, but then I got distracted with some like bugs and some issues like that I was trying to fix. But there's this, and then of course just a little bit of a level. Like I plan to expand on these, and this level was actually, it's pretty simple. It's just, because I'm not exactly a level designer, I'm working on it, and if I find some reason that this doesn't work, I'll just modify it. But this is kind of it for now. And so the game's changed, I would say, quite a bit from before. It's definitely a lot better looking, and there's a lot more to it. Before, I was actually had like a ton of enemies, but then I was like modifying with the prefab and changing like what the enemies do and stuff like that. So I got rid of them all and just went down to one just for testing. Yeah. Oh, and I got a coin counter up here. And here, let me go in the menu. That was the music I have playing. Let me die. For some reason, it starts on 3, but I really don't. I don't think I have 3 coins. But if I can die here. See, I dropped the coins, and of course, it throws a little bit of an error, and that's because I haven't really exactly set the HUD up and modified it. But anyways. So let's kill this guy real quick. Collect those. Oh, there's that sound. And here's my coins down here. So I'm kind of thinking like a Dark Souls death system where you just kind of respawn at this like set point in the level. Maybe even just the overworld. I may not change that point, and you got to go get your stuff within a minute, or it disappears. Kind of like taking a little bit from like Dark Souls and also a little bit from like Minecraft, those style games. That way, like, there's no lives or anything like that. You can keep trying until you get it, but you will lose your stuff if you're not able to travel fast enough, kind of. Which like, sounds kind of brutal now that I think about it, but regardless. Yeah, that's the current state of the game. I'm doing a lot of work with sprites and setting up a pixel perfect camera, so I pretty much have to redraw all this art so that everything kind of fits perfectly in its world space. At a certain pixels per unit. I think. I'm not exactly an expert on it, but I'm going to try to set up the pixel perfect camera, whether through script or through the pixel perfect camera that Unity has, and that should get rid of that bug occasionally where you see lines through the stuff. Yeah, and I'll update next week, hopefully. But if not next week, then the week after. It really just depends on how much I get you on, or if there's anything even really worth mentioning. And if there is, I'll try to do it. But of course, my work schedule is a big depender of that. So that's all for this one, and I will see you next one.